Good evening. Well, today is Wednesday, July 16, 2025. Your date for Thursday, the 17th. All right, let's go. Well, as far as official setups, I still like these two. We'll get to those in just 1 second. There's also a couple other ones in here that I'd like to point out. Go ahead and bump your stop on KTOS. Decent day there, too, which helped us have a decent day overall. Obviously, still like this TGen. If you noticed in the spreadsheet, I did lower the entry on that to reflect today's slide. I don't always do that on a one-for-one basis, but today I did get that entry down a little bit lower. Do wait for the entry. This is the first deep retracement in IPO. Good looking setup there, obviously. Still like the NAGE, even though it's quite a few days of the pullback. I think it still looks like it has potential. Nice little outside day up there. Obviously, wait for entries on anything you go after. If you don't have any golds or ignore the recent gold recommendations, take a look at NGD, or didn't take it for whatever reasons. You can see so far it's pulled back, bit of a kind of a double top knockout look to it, or double top pullback, however you want to call that. Also, this TSSI is kind of interesting, nice deep retracement after a nice uptrend there. Let's take a look at the portfolio, and then we'll pop out obviously to the overall market. First of all, BTM, not a bad day there, percentage-wise especially, 14%. Obviously, it's just back to where about what we got in, but it still looks pretty good. Obviously, longer term, looks like we could bang out those new highs. And then some KGC, a little bit of a pop, better than the poke in the eye. I'd like to see this guy break out of its range, and if it does, obviously, that'll put us fairly close to that IPT. KTOS, look at that. Nice little rally there, closing at all-time high so far. So good, tacking on 3 points and change. TFPM selling off a little bit off its worst levels. Still looks pretty good longer term, though, just consolidating at these high levels. Take a look at like a weekly chart on that, and you can see it really hadn't even pulled back just yet. And VG, bring up the rear. Well, not exactly. Open a gap reversal there. Still looks like it has potential longer term, though. So see each position to its fruition is what I say. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow in the chart show. Let's take a look at the overall market, and we'll drill down a little bit. P's have a bit of a double top or triple top knockout look to them. So far, obviously, breakout remains intact. Nice little recovery today after a dip, so that's certainly a good thing. Take a look at NASDAQ Composite. A little bit of a dip there, but nice little rally back. And you know what? Once again, we're at all-time highs. So as a trend guy, especially as long as this breakout holds above this prior resistance, I am certainly not going to argue with that. Let's take a look at the Rusty. Bring up the rear. Well, yeah, better than the poke in the eye, up 1%. So that's pretty good. Still needs to get through this overhead supply, so I hate to use the word hope, but hopefully that will happen sooner rather than later. Ethereum finally waking up. Bitcoin, as you likely know, has been waking up as of late, and now Ethereum finally following suit. Let's take a look at some other areas in here. Gold, the commodity, off its best levels, was still up a little nonetheless. Continues to consolidate by trading sideways. Longer term still looks pretty good. Gold stocks, a little sideways too, as you can see. Not too far from those new highs, though, so let's not get too excited one way or the other, and obviously honor your stops there. Obviously, if you go after anything there, like the NGD, of course, make sure you're waiting for an entry. Decent day in broker-dealer after a bit of a dip, looking pretty good longer term. Nice breakout there, remains intact. Biotech had a decent rally. As I've been saying quite a bit, I think it's nearly the most out of all sectors. I think it's like 13 or 14 in the Landry 100. So that's percentage-wise, that's huge. 13 to 14%, obviously. Still has this overhead supply to overcome, but on an individual basis, there are some issues that still looks pretty good. Software, decent rally there. It stalled at its prior peak, but looking good. One big update, of course, would fix that problem. Defense, bam, winning, closing an all-time high. So that's certainly a good thing there. Pot stocks continue to sort of bottom out in here. I know these guys can have a lot of fits and starts, but for now, it looks like they're trying to bottom out. Semiconductors recovered after a decent sell-off, and so far the breakout remains intact. So far so good for the semis. It was good to see them snap back like they did. Some areas, like biotech and quite a few others, still remain below overhead supply, but enough areas look good in here to make me bullish, for lack of a better word. Uranium banging out some new highs. Some of these rare earths, as you know, have been doing well. There's platinum, you can see, almost at brand new highs. So those areas obviously are improving. Financials tailed lower, but did rally off of their worst levels It's still below this prior peak. You know what I mean? I like to see them break out again and not look back. Stop if you heard that before. I think that's pretty much it. In general, things continue to improve. There's a little mixed action out there, obviously. But I kind of see that as glass half full, because as those mixed areas improve, for instance, internally biotech's looking pretty good, at least on an individual issue basis, selected individual issue basis. But as those areas improve, that's going to add a little bit more fuel to the fire. Maybe we can get this, to mix metaphors, maybe we get the market firing on all 8 cylinders. Right now it's on about 5.5. Anyway, I think that's it for tonight. I don't want to filibuster too much here. Everybody have a fantastic night. We'll talk tomorrow. Thank you so much.